All right, let's get to another young quarterback who himself was benched, now came back. Anthony Richardson, after a 2-game little hiatus, a little break, a little tap the helmet. He came out for a couple games. Now he's back in. And, man, he looked great. Only the second youngest quarterback of all time with 250 passing yards in a game, 30 rushing yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns. Quite the weird statistical stat line there to combine. But
well, the other guy's Cam Newton. That's a unique talent,
so
too.
That's nice to be included in. To me, it was his best game all season. Did you see any true growth from him, or was this just bad Jets defense that we saw?
No, I mean, I think you have to view it as growth. Delivering the football from the pocket, I thought he did a really nice job yesterday. I thought his decision-making, like believing in the throws that he was making, letting them rip, they looked really good, in my opinion. I like the way they used him too, right? Using his legs down by the red area, down by the goal line, allowing him to be physical in that space. I like that fit for him. I think the Jets defense, that's a whole nother podcast, right? We could talk about that, for an hour. But I think it is growth. And I think, maybe there is this space of, 2 weeks of kind of have to answering those questions or listening to the other stuff, of being, watching from a distance, but also like really growing like this thing inside you of wanting to go prove it, right? And having to go prove it. I think may, in fact, turn out to be a good thing. We'll see. It's a small sample size. But from what we saw yesterday, what I saw yesterday, I agree with you. I thought it was his best game of the season.
When Anthony got the nod to go back in there at the starting position for the rest of the season, I thought about what success would look like for this guy coming back off the bench. And the simplest way I can put it is earlier in the season, and you can back me up on this, what we've seen is him try to flash his talents with running, with throwing the football down the field, and oftentimes he forgets about doing the little things. What I think he needs to flash now is the growth aspect. Hitting your free throws, hitting your gimmies, doing the things that you're supposed to do as a quarterback, being able to behave like a leader. And I give him a ton of credit because everybody and their mama was talking about Anthony Richardson the last couple of weeks. But we haven't heard a peep out of him. All we saw was him go out and have a winning day of football at the quarterback position. He seemingly took his medicine and went back out there, and now he's a starter again. It's nice to see.
I got to tip my cap to Shane Steichen. A lot of people were very critical of this move when it happened, and it was unique. A lot of people saw it as a guy who was so raw that if you were benching him in that situation, that you were in fact giving up on him.
Yeah. And
he took a lot of heat for it, but I think it is something that was more of just a wake-up call to Anthony Richardson. A lot of times, we say, oh, you want to give all these rookie quarterbacks, give them everything, give them like the situation, let them grow through it, let them do that. Well, sometimes you need to give them a wake-up call. Sometimes taking something away from them can be the biggest wake-up call, can be the biggest incentive. I go back, and this isn't obviously the exact one-to-one thing, but the 2 best rookie quarterbacks this season were guys who their first college programs gave up on them. Bo Nix at Auburn, Jaden Daniels at Arizona State. They were forced to transfer because they didn't have their starting jobs if they were to come back to school. That does something to someone mentally when they're saying that this team doesn't want me, or with Anthony Richardson's situation, they don't want me to start. That is almost incalculable what that can do to them. Yeah, it can break some guys, but if you really are mentally strong, it can make you a better quarterback in a number of different ways. And I think we're seeing that. I think that is all it was to begin with, and that we're seeing now the growth from him. And I think you'll see a different quarterback going forward. Now, is he going to be a franchise quarterback? Who knows? But the guy is uber talented, and I think there's more of this guy to come than the guy we saw before.